Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet were once the epitome of Hollywood romance, a couple that embodied love, family, and shared values. Their relationship seemed unshakable, a perfect blend of passion and deep connection. But when news of their split broke, fans were left in shock, wondering what could have gone so wrong. Now, after months of speculation, Jason Momoa is finally opening up. He's sharing raw, emotional insights into the struggles that led to their separation, the lessons he's learned, and the path he's forging ahead. Let's dive in. Before Jason Momoa became the towering Hollywood icon we know today, his life was a story of contrasts, resilience, and an ongoing search for identity. Born Joseph Jason Namakaeha Momoa on August 1, 1979, in Honolulu, Hawaii, he carried the weight of a diverse and deeply rooted heritage. His father's native Hawaiian ancestry blended with his mother's German, Irish, and Pawnee lineage, shaping a unique identity that was both a source of pride and, at times, a profound challenge. After his parents divorced when he was still an infant, Jason moved with his mother to Norwalk, Iowa, a place that couldn't be more different from the lush landscapes of Hawaii. In small-town Iowa, Jason stood out. His sun-kissed skin and deep cultural background made him feel like an outsider in a world that didn't quite understand his roots. Yet, rather than letting that isolate him, these early struggles became the foundation of his resilience, pushing him to carve out his own identity in a world that often misunderstood him. But Hawaii was always calling him back. Jason spent summers with his father, reconnecting with his ancestral land, absorbing the traditions, and grounding himself spiritually. These trips weren't just vacations, they were lifelines, shaping his sense of self and deepening his appreciation for where he came from. This contrast between the rugged independence of Iowa and the spiritual richness of Hawaii created a man who was both introspective and adventurous, qualities that made him stand out long before Hollywood ever came calling. Even in his teenage years, Jason possessed an undeniable presence, tall, athletic, and charismatic. But he was never just about physicality. Encouraged by his mother, a painter, Jason explored his artistic side, developing a passion for storytelling and creative expression. This love for art and self-expression would later become a key connection between him and Lisa Bonet, whose own mixed heritage and artistic spirit mirrored his in striking ways. When Jason Momoa met Lisa Bonet years later, it was as if fate had been patiently weaving their separate yet parallel journeys into one. Both had spent their lives navigating dual identities, Lisa through her diverse heritage and Jason through the struggle of forging his place in an industry that often didn't know what to do with someone so unapologetically unique. Jason's road to success had been anything but smooth. After an unexpected break on Baywatch Hawaii, he spent years grinding through roles in North Shore and Stargate Atlantis, determined to carve out a space for himself. Hollywood had its own rigid molds, but Jason refused to be confined. Then came the audition that changed everything. His unforgettable performance of the Maori haka for Game of Thrones. That raw, electrifying display of power secured him the role of Khal Drogo, a character that cemented his image as a fierce warrior. But success came with its own set of struggles, typecasting, industry misconceptions, and the constant battle to prove his depth as an actor. Yet, as much as his career shaped him, nothing transformed his perspective on life more than his relationship with Lisa. She wasn't just a woman he admired, she had been his childhood crush ever since he was an 8-year-old boy watching The Cosby Show. To finally meet her, to connect with her on a profound level, felt like destiny in motion. Lisa Bonet, much like Jason Momoa, had never been one to conform. Born Lisa Michelle Bonet on November 16, 1967, in San Francisco, she carried a rich and complex identity, African American on her father's side, Jewish American on her mother's. Raised primarily by her mother in the modest neighborhood of Rada, California, Lisa grew up straddling two cultural worlds. This duality didn't just shape her, it deepened her introspection, fueling a quiet strength and unwavering commitment to authenticity. These were the very qualities that would later resonate so deeply with Jason, drawing them together in a way that felt both magnetic and inevitable. Long before Jason entered her life, Lisa was already a force to be reckoned with. At just 16, she skyrocketed to fame as Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show, Denise wasn't just another sitcom character. She was effortlessly cool, free-spirited, and independent, qualities that mirrored Lisa's own personality. Audiences adored her, and critics praised her fresh, relatable energy, earning her an Emmy nomination. But Lisa was never content with just being a TV icon. She was an artist, always searching for deeper meaning in her work, even if it meant defying expectations. In 1987, she made a daring move, stepping away from her wholesome sitcom image to star in Angel Heart, a provocative psychological thriller that sparked controversy for its explicit content. It was a bold choice, one that shocked many, but it cemented Lisa's determination to carve her own path, regardless of public opinion. Around this time, she met musician Lenny Kravitz, a connection that ran deeper than romance. They bonded over their shared experience of navigating mixed-race identities and their mutual passion for creativity. Their love story unfolded quickly, leading to marriage on Lisa's 20th birthday and the birth of their daughter, Zoe Kravitz, in 1988. Though their marriage ended in 1993, Lisa and Lenny redefined what it meant to co-parent in Hollywood. Instead of bitterness, they nurtured a deep friendship, one built on mutual respect and unwavering support. This sense of harmony extended even further when Jason Momoa entered Lisa's life. In an extraordinary turn, Jason and Lenny formed their own bond, proving that love in Lisa's world was never about divisions, it was about unity. After The Cosby Show, Lisa became highly selective about her career, choosing projects that aligned with her values rather than chasing the spotlight. She prioritized privacy, spiritual growth, and, above all, motherhood. Fame was never her end goal. Authenticity, peace, and meaningful relationships were. When she met Jason in 2005, he was a rising actor still finding his place in Hollywood. When Jason Momoa first met Lisa Bonet, she embodied everything he admired: strength, individuality, and a deep connection to her roots. For Lisa, Jason's humility, passion for life, and authenticity were a refreshing contrast to the superficiality of Hollywood. Despite their age gap and differing career stages, they shared the same core values: family, art, and a life filled with purpose. What Lisa didn't know at the time was that the tall, athletic young man standing before her had been in awe of her since childhood. Soon, their fates would intertwine, weaving their families and stories into a romance that captivated fans worldwide. It was 2005 in a smoky, dimly lit Los Angeles jazz club, where the soft hum of conversation and the soulful melodies of a live band set the mood. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa crossed paths through mutual friends. Some recall Lisa's signature bohemian ensemble. Others remember Jason's newly dreaded hair, a look he partially adopted because he had admired Lisa's own locks when she wore them in the 90s. For Jason, the moment was surreal. He had been just 8 years old when he saw Lisa as Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show, immediately declaring to his mother, "I want that one." Now, nearly 2 decades later, he stood face to face with his childhood crush. Trying to maintain his composure, he felt fireworks exploding in his chest. As they introduced themselves, conversation flowed effortlessly. Lisa, sensing Jason's warm energy, offered him a ride home. On the way, they stopped at the legendary 101 coffee shop in Hollywood. Lisa ordered Guinness and grits, a choice that both surprised and intrigued Jason. She exuded a laid-back confidence that felt completely different from the polished personas of Hollywood. That night, they laughed, talked, and built a connection far deeper than mere attraction. In the weeks and months that followed, Jason and Lisa became inseparable. At the time, Jason was still navigating sporadic acting gigs, unsure of his career's trajectory, but his devotion to Lisa was unwavering. She, in turn, found in Jason an adventurous spirit, a partner with an open heart, and a man who cherished family as deeply as she did. Their bond was not just about romance, it was about shared identity. Both carried the weight of mixed-race backgrounds and had carved unique creative paths in Hollywood. They understood each other in ways others could not. To outsiders, their love seemed instantaneous, but it was built on mutual respect, a reverence for authenticity, and an unshakable foundation of trust. Lisa had already seen the highs and lows of fame. Her marriage to Lenny Kravitz and her early stardom had taught her that she wasn't interested in Hollywood's glitz. Jason, too, had his own worldview, rooted in Hawaiian cultural values and Midwestern humility. They weren't chasing red carpets. They were building a home filled with love, art, and purpose. Their love deepened, and in July 2007 they welcomed their first child, Lola Iolani Momoa. Her name was inspired by the hawks that flew overhead during her birth, reflecting the couple's spiritual connection to nature. In December 2008, they welcomed a son, Nakoa Wolf Manakawapo Namakaiha Momoa, his name reflecting both the stormy night of his birth and their deep cultural ties. Lisa and Jason created a blended family where love knew no boundaries. Lisa's daughter from her previous marriage, Zoe Kravitz, was embraced fully, and over time, Lenny Kravitz and Jason developed a bond so strong that Lenny would later refer to Jason as his brother. Their family dynamic redefined modern relationships, showing that exes, spouses, and children could coexist in harmony, built on love and respect. While Lisa had her own legacy, Jason's career was still taking shape. His big break came when he portrayed the fierce Dothraki warlord Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. His powerful presence made him an instant fan favorite, but Hollywood saw him as just that, an imposing warrior. Casting agents assumed he spoke little to no English. Some believed he could only play barbaric roles. Ironically, Game of Thrones created a dilemma for him. Drogo's impact was so strong that it became difficult for him to land new roles. Directors struggled to see beyond the fierce warrior persona. That changed when visionary director Zack Snyder saw Jason's potential and approached him for Aquaman. Snyder shattered the traditional image of the character, transforming him from a clean-cut, blonde hero into a mighty Polynesian warrior. Suddenly, the very things that made Jason feel like an outsider, his Hawaiian roots, his connection to the ocean, became his greatest assets. When Aquaman hit theaters in 2018, it became a billion-dollar box office sensation. Fans celebrated Jason's raw, authentic portrayal of the underwater king. More than just a superhero, Aquaman represented cultural pride and heritage, making Jason a global icon. Major motion pictures demanded grueling filming schedules, often requiring Jason to be away for months at a time in locations like Australia and Canada. As a father who had grown up with divorced parents, he was painfully aware of the instability that distance could bring. Lisa, having experienced the relentless Hollywood machine since her teenage years, knew the toll it could take. She prioritized stability for their children, ensuring they were grounded, protected, and surrounded by love. Despite Jason's skyrocketing career, he remained fiercely dedicated to his family. Whenever possible, he brought them along on his journeys, ensuring they remained close-knit. Lisa continued nurturing their home life, blending traditions, music, and artistic expression into the fabric of their everyday existence. Lisa Bonet once thrived in Hollywood's fast lane, but as the years passed, she embraced a quieter, more grounded life in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Jason Momoa's star was ascending at breakneck speed. As his career skyrocketed, the demands on his time multiplied, naturally creating friction. Yet through those golden years, they remained deeply supportive of each other's dreams. Lisa made special efforts to keep the family connected, surprising Jason on set, like on his 38th birthday while he was filming Aquaman. Their creative bond was undeniable, culminating in Road to Paloma, 2014, which Jason directed, co-wrote, and starred in, with Lisa playing a pivotal role. But as Jason's career gained unstoppable momentum, so did his passion for environmental advocacy. Leveraging his Aquaman fame, he championed ocean conservation while infusing his on-screen performances with a heavy metal spirit, drawing inspiration from music to shape his characters. This synergy of love, art, and purpose was electric, but it also set them on divergent paths, making it increasingly difficult to maintain the balance that once defined their relationship. Jason Momoa's life has always been about navigating different worlds, from his Hawaiian and Iowan roots to becoming the face of a billion-dollar franchise. Similarly, Lisa Bonet, raised by a Jewish mother and an African-American father, struggled with a dual identity from an early age. They found solace in each other, drawn together by a mutual understanding of belonging and self-discovery. Lisa cherished stability, prioritizing their children's upbringing in Los Angeles, where she could focus on her passions away from the public eye. Jason, on the other hand, thrived in the whirlwind of Hollywood, moving from Justice League to Aquaman and beyond. With film shoots and global press tours consuming his schedule, he spent more time away than at home. At first, Lisa embraced the adventure, having once lived a nomadic lifestyle herself. But as the years passed, she became less willing to uproot their family. She had built a serene world in Los Angeles, a space she felt was best for their children's friendships, education, and sense of normalcy. What started as minor adjustments soon became irreconcilable differences. While they agreed on the importance of family, their daily realities told another story. Jason's relentless schedule left Lisa shouldering the bulk of parenting, often with the support of her inner circle, including Lenny Kravitz and Zoe Kravitz. Their early collaborations, once fueled by passion, faded as Jason's career demands took precedence. The financial rewards were immense, but they came at the cost of simplicity, the very thing they had once treasured. Despite it all, their devotion to co-parenting never wavered. Their children, Lola and Nakoa Wolf, thrived in a loving environment, even if that meant navigating life with parents who were often worlds apart. For years, their love story overshadowed the underlying fractures. But tensions over living arrangements, parenting philosophies, and differing visions for the future gradually took center stage. On January 12, 2022, Jason Momoa posted a heartfelt but now deleted Instagram statement. He and Lisa Bonet were separating. For a couple that had long symbolized unity, bohemian values, and blended family harmony, the revelation sent shockwaves through their fans. Their journey, once defined by love, understanding, and shared passions, had reached an impasse. They framed their decision as a necessary response to the shifting tides of the world, a transformation that mirrored the changes in their own lives. Publicly, their split was amicable, wrapped in statements of devotion to their children and a promise to navigate the transition with dignity and honesty. But those close to them knew the truth. This wasn't sudden. It was the inevitable result of years spent struggling with clashing schedules, diverging priorities, and the growing distance between them. Their divorce was finalized in January 2024, officially closing the chapter on their marriage. Yet their deeper bond as co-parents remained. But then whispers spread. Were they reconciling? Was this just a temporary separation? Jason's continued presence, whether at events supporting Zoe Kravitz or delivering a Christmas tree to Lisa's home, only fueled speculation. Fans held on to hope, dissecting every move. But Jason set the record straight. We're not back together. We're family. A distinction both subtle and absolute. Lisa, too, found herself at the center of rumors. Some claimed she had grown weary of Jason's career trajectory. Others suggested she resented the relentless spotlight on their relationship. Within Hollywood's inner circles, hushed conversations painted a grim picture of her future in the industry. One phrase echoed in those private exchanges: "It's over for her." Yet, those who truly understood Lisa knew better. She had never chased fame. She had always chosen authenticity. Maybe to the world her story seemed to be ending, but to her, it was simply evolving. For Jason, the legal finality of the divorce hit hard. The foundation he had poured himself into was gone, leaving him to reconcile the dream of a lasting partnership with the reality of their separate lives. The way forward was uncertain, yet despite the heartbreak, his mutual respect remained. They continued to spend parts of the holidays together for their children's sake. Jason remained involved in Lisa's life, showing up in small but meaningful ways, helping around the house, planning surprises for the kids. This delicate dance of separation and unity fascinated the public. How could two people still love each other deeply, yet choose to let their marriage go? That question, however, belonged only to them. The complexities of their relationship remained beyond the reach of tabloids and internet speculation. Still, fans craved answers. They wanted to hear Jason's truth, to glimpse the raw emotions behind his silence. The moment Jason Momoa finally speaks, months passed. Jason avoided the subject, letting the world speculate. Every interview, every social media post, fans analyzed them, searching for clues. But he remained focused on his career, embracing the villainous role of Dante Reyes in Fast X and his deep-rooted activism for the environment. Then, the moment arrived. A heartfelt interview, a question that hung in the air. Jason paused. When he finally spoke, his voice was steady yet tinged with emotion. "It wasn't easy," he admitted. "We tried. We really did. There was so much love between us, and there still is. But sometimes life pulls you in different directions. This wasn't a decision we rushed into, but it was something we both knew had to happen. He opened up about the challenges of raising children in the public eye, the immense respect he still held for Lisa, and the love that would always bind them as a family. Their relationship, he explained, wasn't defined by a title, but by the foundation they had built together. Jason spoke deeply about fatherhood and the guiding principles of his Hawaiian heritage: family, respect for tradition, and a profound connection to nature. These values, he said, would shape his journey forward, both as a co-parent and as a man learning to embrace change. Throughout the interview, gratitude resonated in his words. Gratitude for Lisa's impact on his life, for the lessons they had shared, and for the unshakable bond they had created for their children. The pain of separation was undeniable, but so was the opportunity for growth, healing, and a redefined connection. Jason's truth was raw, heartfelt, and real. So, now that his emotional truth is finally out, what part of his journey resonates with you most? Share your thoughts below, subscribe for more, and stay tuned for what's next.